Welcome to the New Improved Senior Home Business Channel. I say New Improved because I'm coming at you every single day talking to you about business, life in general, and the senior referral business, how you can help a senior at no cost, no obligation, and still make a great amount of money on the back end. But we're going to get into a topic today about the senior referral business because many of you follow me because of this. We have the Senior Referral Academy. If you want to know more about how to get into the industry, and click the link below. But let's get right into it because I want to talk to you today. A lot of people are getting into this industry. A lot of people want to make a whole lot of money because they recognize you could do that in this industry. The industry, first and foremost, has changed over the years. It used to be you can just go get a name and number and get a finder's fee from a community. The communities are wising up more and more these days. They don't necessarily do that. They want somebody that's got a legitimate business, someone that's got a business license, someone that really knows what they're doing and not just handing off a name and number. So if you're thinking about getting in this industry and just going to drop off a name and number, that's really not going to work for the most part, unless you're getting somewhere, unless you know somebody that might help you out. But if you're just going in cold turkey, trying to get business and not really being a business, but yet trying to extend residents and leads and expecting payment, it's not going to happen anymore. They've erased all that. But I want to talk to you today about people in this industry. And I've got students across the country, and my students will say this too. And I really believe them because I've got some amazing students in 32 different states. Did I tell you that? Oh man, 32 different states. Amazing. But they're all wonderful. We meet on a regular basis. However, I got some referral agents in my own area and people I know outside my area. And I'm not thinking of one particular person. So if you're listening to me, I'm not talking about you necessarily. Probably talking about someone you don't even know. But I encounter a lot of people in this industry that would classify themselves as a senior advocate, would classify themselves as a person that truly wants to benefit the senior, truly in this business to help seniors. And the litmus test to all this is when you get a lead, and let's say the resident generates $1,500 a month. Well, if you've been in this business for 5 minutes, you know $1,500 will not cover the rent, definitely not the care. They absolutely cannot move anywhere outside of some programs that may be available, which are not a whole lot out there. I mean, there's national programs like the Veterans Benefits. Depending on what state you're in, you'll have some state programs, but they're few far in between. I'm a firm believer that we should have more programs for seniors. All right. But we don't right now. So the problem becomes when someone says they're a senior advocate and they're also a senior referral agent, there's really a kind of a dichotomy going on because in this business, you want to help somebody make a lot of money. But again, going back to our scenario, what if you get somebody, get a lead, get a resident, a person that really has enjoyed life, 85 years old, needing assisted living, but now you figure out they only make $1,500 a month. The litmus test is this. Do you truly help that individual? Will you still meet with that individual? Will you go through your contact and questionnaire forms and all the paperwork necessary? Will you reach out to other people? Will you still begin to search and try to figure out and find out what you can do to help that individual? If the answer is no to any of those questions, you're not an advocate for seniors. I'm absolutely sorry to say that, which I shouldn't say I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. You're not an advocate for senior. You're just in it for the money. Now, you might be saying, well, Matt, you make a lot of money doing this. I certainly do. But you know what? I do a lot of pro bono work too. I do a lot of work with seniors that are in that situation of $1,500 a month, and I will stay with them. I will help them as best I can. Now, I'm not trying to pretend, get you to believe that I can actually move them somewhere for $1,500. Oftentimes, it does not work. But you know what? If you truly are an advocate for seniors, you're going to be there through the process. You're going to be there with the adult kids. You're going to form some type of bond or relationship with them. You're going to express empathy. If you are not an advocate for senior, you could care less. Let me give you an example. I got a lead a couple of years ago from somebody that called me on a Friday night at 7:00 and said, I apologize for calling at 7:00, but I really need to speak to someone, and my mom needs to move in somewhere in the next couple of days because she's about to be discharged. No big deal. See, our phone is always available. So, oh man, my wife and I could be on a date and we'll still take the call because we're an advocate for seniors. However, what happened, the reason she called me, she actually called someone else first. Another referral agency Call this individual at 5 o'clock on a Friday. Now, again, she called me at 7. Call them at 5 o'clock on a Friday. You know what their response was? Ma'am, I appreciate the call. I really want to help you out, help your mom. But it is Friday at 5 o'clock. Can we talk next week? Now, would you consider that individual an advocate for a senior? I would not. Now, you might say, well, there needs to be boundaries. There needs to be some parameters set up, meaning, you can't just take calls all night long. You know what? If my phone goes off, where is it at? If my phone goes off and it goes off at 2 o'clock in the morning, which it never does. But if it should happen to go off at 2 in the morning, guess who's going to answer the phone? Me. You know what? Because I get up early anyway. Somebody calls me at 3:30, 4 o'clock, I'm already up. Most referral agents are already still sleeping at that point. Get your butt out of bed. Man, God dang it. But anyway, so we were able to help that individual, but I would not consider the other referral agent an advocate for seniors. And I don't care what they had going on. I don't care if they're going to a wedding, their kids' graduation. I don't care what they're doing. 5 o'clock, you should still be able to take that call. I take calls in the car. I take calls in my house where I'm at right now, my home office, on the road. I text with people back and forth. To be an advocate for a senior, you need to be readily available for them. So you're expressing empathy and you're available. If you're not expressing empathy and saying, well, they're $1,500 clients, I can't do anything with them, so I'm going to distance myself with them, you're not expressing empathy and you're not an advocate for senior. I'm sorry, you're just not. I don't care how much you say you are absolutely not. And if you don't make yourself available, you're not an advocate for a senior. You're just in it for yourself. And that's okay if you just want to make a lot of money, because like I said on this channel, you will make a lot of money in this business. That's why there's an influx of people trying to get into this business. There's a wave of people, but you got to do it right. Gosh, you got to do it right. And it starts with being a senior advocate. Knowing the process is one thing. You've got to do that. That's just the basics, right? You've got to know negotiation. If you don't do it, well, again, I don't think if you don't negotiate for your seniors, you're not an advocate for seniors either. Because see, I do that. I don't know anybody else that does except for my students. And the reason we do it is because it makes no sense, right? Let me tell you what the negotiation is. It's not like haggling over a sticker price of a car. It's really not that at all. What it is you have a $5,000 client. Let's say you get 100% of that $5,000. So you're going to make $5,000 on that move-in. However, because you're an advocate for seniors, what you do is you negotiate that price from $5,000 down to $4,000. That means a senior will only pay $4,000 for rent and care each month they're going forward. But you would say, as a referral agent, someone is not an advocate for seniors. You would say, well, I don't want to do that because, I lose $1,000 in commission. Why would I do that? Why don't I just get them in? They can afford $5,000. The place is $5,000. They're okay with it. I'm just matching them up. But see, this whole matching them up, providing a list, doesn't mean you're an advocate for seniors. Just mean you're in the business. But see, we truly have done that. I have saved people $1,500 a month on 2 separate occasions, which is the equivalent of $18,000 for the year, because I'm an advocate for seniors. See, I try to get the price down as low as possible, but not because the place is cheap, but because the place is great. Nurse practitioners there. It's owned by a nurse. It's owned by someone who's been in the business for 20 plus years. It's a quality place. But get the price down for the senior so they have more in their pocket. So it's easier because, as we get older, obviously we require more care. So when you put somebody in a home or a community at the max $5,000 with no wiggle room going forward, one more ADL will push them over. And now they got to go somewhere else because they cannot afford the very place you put them in. If you do that, you're not an advocate for seniors either. It's just not. It's just not. And you're going to be an advocate for senior? Negotiate for them. Take some out of your pocket and give it back to the senior in a sense, not just literally taking it out of your pocket, but negotiate that price down. I challenge every referral agent that's out there to do that. If you don't do it, you're not an advocate for senior. You're just looking out for yourself. You're looking out for a commission. Because see, that's where it hurts, right? When the lead is not where we need it to be. And the money is just, I want to make sure it's high so I get a greater commission. That's all signs. And it smells like somebody is not an advocate for a senior and don't want any part of it. And you shouldn't want to be a part of them either. If you're watching this channel and you listen to me about senior living, assisted living, and this whole business that I'm doing, then you shouldn't be around those people either. And you should not want them to help your parents because they're not empathetic and they're not negotiating for your loved one. Man, this really ticks me off. I just want to share that with you today. And I want to just come to you and say, this business is so awesome. When you truly get an individual, and there's many of them out there that truly love seniors and truly work on their behalf, and they go for it, and it's a match made in heaven where they're the seniors at right now at home, skilled nursing, hospital, and they go to a beautiful community or care home. It's a match made in heaven. I hear tons of stories like that. Hope your story's like that. You know, we just need to keep fighting for seniors. We need to keep being here and helping them out. You know, I'm 54. There's going to be a time in my life I want to need someone to fight for me and help me. And I want referral agents and I want people in this industry to fight for me and care for me and be there for me, not just, trying to make a dollar. I want them to truly be an advocate for senior. Look for those advocates out there. Look for those people that truly love seniors. Not only applaud them, shake their hand, but go up there and, man, just say thank you. Give them a thank you. Come on, let's go.